welcome to my video. So in this video I'm going to be talking about a little bit more on some fixes with KDE that I noticed that I had some problems. Never in the past I got an update, just to let you guys know I got an update on nVidia drivers. So it's been updated. I updated this before I went to work. I hadn't really tested out much, but now the nVidia driver has been updated from 550.40.07 to 550.54.14. Latest update, and works really well. And guess what? If I run a video in VLC now,
Just a test.
it works. Just a test. But the videos launch. So yeah, pretty cool. So VLC has been fixed. They fixed OBS. They fixed Shortcut. And now VLC that I had problems with launching videos now launches videos. So all the things that I had problems with a few days ago has all been fixed through updates. And I'm not sure if that's the developer listened to me or it's just a commonly big bug and they patched it up. I don't know. But if my feedback is going out there, that's good. I'm here to give feedback. But yeah, all the problems that I had, which weren't really big problems. Like I could just use Flatpak applications and until things are resolved, but it was resolved pretty quickly. So good job on the dev team, I must say. Now, before I end this video, because it's not going to be really a big video, it's just me talking about things been updated with the system. But I will say one thing. I really love Fedora. Fedora 40, the KDE edition, is probably the best operating system of all operating systems I ever used. Like, this is a very good system. It's very stable. For a pre-release system, it's pretty stable. For a Wayland-only system, it's pretty stable on nVidia graphics. Yes, I do sometimes get occasional glitchy, flickering applications, but I noticed since the update, I don't really see that much anymore, or at all. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but things seems to be really good and stable. And guess what? KDE is going to be out in 3 days. KDE 6 is going to be officially released in 3 days. I can't wait, man. That's going to be awesome. Right now, the way KDE is now, KDE 6. It's pretty good. It's pretty stable. Works really good with Wayland. I think KDE, if they're doing really good jobs with Wayland, I think many distributions should start using KDE 6 over GNOME. And I know people probably like GNOME, and you can still use it, but I just think KDE 6 is a better desktop environment, and I think more distributions, especially Fedora, should use it. Because Fedora used to use KDE. I remember back in the day, it was a KDE desktop because I used Fedora like crazy, and it was always KDE. And I think they should be back to KDE again because KDE 6 with Wayland support, it's very good. Very good. Very impressive. If it's working really good with nVidia GPU, it does. I had no flickering apps, flickering or nothing. Like on my AMD little mini computer that has a built-in integrated graphics, which is AMD as well, which is the APU chip, 5800H, a Ryzen 7. The Vega 8 works pretty good with Wayland and with KDE 6, and it's also running Fedora 40. All my computers are running Fedora 40. I still do have Arch Linux on the other. I have 2 hard drives. I still have Arch Linux on the hard drive, but I'm not using Arch Linux at all. And I think eventually I'm just gonna stop using Arch Linux and stick with Fedora. And it's not that I hate Arch Linux. I just prefer a more of like a release cycle, like a system that has a release cycle every few months. They have a release, like Ubuntu, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, like a lot of cool distributions that have release cycles. I like this a lot. And I also like to test out Fedora, and I do like the Btrfs stuff. And I have it set up. I know I don't really talk about it much about Snapper. I set up Snapper with my Btrfs. I have Snapper Assistant, so that's set up as well. So right here, Snapper Assistant. Yeah, I know it shows white GUI. I can probably fix that. I could fix it. Anyways, so yeah, that's all pretty cool, man. It's working good. VLC now works, launches videos. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with Fedora. I really am. I really like it, and it's still pre-release. You know, it's not even out yet, and I find it's actually pretty stable for a pre-release system. It doesn't even feel. It feels like it's already released. It can be released right now, and I don't know. To me, like I find it's pretty good. It's really good. Like if anybody wants to test out Fedora 40 right now, test it out. I would recommend the KDE edition, but if you want to test out the workstation GNOME edition or the other spins that they have, go for it. Pick what you find is good for you. But I think personally, Wayland. If you want to use Wayland and you want to have a good experience, I would definitely check out KDE edition of Fedora. Really good distribution. It is the best distribution this year or so far I use in a long while. I'm actually very impressed with Fedora KDE edition. Anyways, I'm impressed with everything that Wayland is actually working very good with my nVidia GPU. That is very impressive, and I'm very happy with that as well. Fedora. If you guys want to check out a really good distribution, something that's really awesome and fun to play around with and just works really good, and it's very stable. It's a good system. I really like the package manager is pretty cool. I think Fedora is one of my favorite. Like they are one of my favorite distributions. I've been testing out Fedora pretty much all their releases since the beginning. I think since 2005, and I'm still testing out Fedora. But this time around, I'm actually gonna I always say I'm gonna stick with Fedora every time I'm testing out their next release, and I end up not sticking with it. But I think this time I'm going to stick with this because I think part of it when I was using it before in the past was the GNOME edition, which is the workstation. It's their official ISO. It's not their spin because they ship their official ISO with GNOME. That's probably another reason why I didn't really like it too much because I think I was getting sick of GNOME as well. But the KDE edition of Fedora is very good. It's a lot better than GNOME, that's for sure. Anyways, guys, thanks for the watch. I appreciate all the new subscribers, all the people with the comments. Awesome. Take care. Have a good one. And until next time, I'll bring some more videos on whatever I bring out. Who knows? Maybe something different, right? Because I've been talking about Fedora too long, too much. But I have a lot of fun with this system. I think it's a great system. Very impressed. I know I say that a lot, but it's a very impressive distribution. Anyways, guys, have a good one. Cheers.